Good evening, my name is Abdulrazak Ali and this is Dalsan TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the stories that are making headlines here in Somalia. Somali President clarifies Turkey-Somalia Defense and Economic Cooperation Pact. Mogadishu court begins hearing case of man accused of burning pregnant wife. UN envoy confirms Al-Shabaab capture of UN helicopter. Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs convenes a public consultation on Somalia's constitutional review. Now, welcome back. The President of Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, commended the Parliament for their role in approving the Turkey-Somalia Defense and Economic Pact on Wednesday, stating that the agreement aims to assist the Somali government in defending its country.
Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud commended the parliament for approving the Turkey-Somalia Defense and Economic Cooperation Pact on Wednesday, stating that the agreement aims to assist the Somali government in defending its country. Addressing reporters in Mogadishu after his speech to the parliament, President Mohamud emphasized that the Turkey will aid in protecting Somalia's seas and resources, including combating illegal fishing, preventing pollution along the coast, and piracy.
argagixisada gudaha nagula direen waxaad ogtihiin dhammaan dalkeena bad aad iyo aad u weyn ayaan leenahay badeena muddo 30 sano ma ilaashanin kalluunkeena iyo khayraadkeena waa la dhacayay wasakh waa lagu shubayay waxa sharci darraa oo dhan oo hub sharci darra.
The Council of Ministers and Parliament approved the pact during separate extraordinary meetings in Mogadishu. The 10-year pact was signed by Somali Defense Minister Abdelkader and Turkish Defense Minister Yasar during the former's visit to Turkey. The pact includes training and equipment for the Somali Navy to help it protect the African country's marine resources and threats such as terrorism and piracy. For Somalia, it will pave the way for more efficient use of its potential economy, from fishing to tourism and energy resources. Turkey plays an active role in Somalia, from education to finance, through its non-governmental organizations, NGOs, to companies. The Somali government vehemently rejected the MoU, saying that the pact had no legal validity and would endanger regional stability. Somalia said there was no room for mediation in a dispute with Ethiopia unless Addis Ababa cancelled a controversial deal with the breakaway region of Somaliland.
A military court in Mogadishu has begun the hearing the case of accused Sayyid Ali Muallim on Wednesday, who allegedly burnt his pregnant wife to death in Mogadishu. The Benadir Regional Court began the hearing of the case against accused Sayyid Ali Muallim Dawood on Wednesday, who allegedly burnt his pregnant wife to death in Mogadishu last month. The body of the deceased remains in the hospital as her family refused to bury her until justice is served. Relatives of both parties, members of the public, lawyers and prosecutors are attending the televised hearing of the case. The victim, 28 years old Lul Abdi Aziz Jazirain, was a pregnant woman and airport worker who died from injuries sustained from her husband allegedly set on her fire. Lul, a widow with 6 children, met her second husband at Mogadishu airport where she worked. Protesters held placards displaying photos of Lul Abdi Aziz Jazirain in her hospital bed, demanding that the Somali government prosecute Sayyid Ali Abdi Haji Dawood. They insisted they would not proceed with burial rites until justice was achieved. Now, the United Nations top envoy in Somalia, Katiana Liang, confirmed Al-Shabaab capture of a UN helicopter. Briefing the council, she assured collaborating with the federal government to ensure all crew and passengers safe return.
Achievements. The UN family in Mogadishu has faced a challenging start to the year, particularly the incident that took place in Galmudug on the 10th of January involving one of our helicopters. We are working closely with the federal government and all partners to secure the safe return of passengers and crew. I would also like to recognise the tragic death of a member of the United Nations Guard Force unit who was killed in an Al-Shabaab indirect fire attack on our UN compound on the 11th of January. Despite these tragic events, our focus remains on supporting Somalia with its rightly ambitious agenda over the year ahead. Madam President, my briefing today will provide brief updates on 8 areas. Firstly, political developments. Secondly, regional developments. Thirdly, a security update. Fourthly, women, peace and security. Fifthly, human rights. Sixthly, humanitarian situation and links to climate change. Seventhly, economic development. And finally, transition. So, Madam President, I will begin with an update on political developments. The National Consultative Council proposals of the 27th of May on the proposed new electoral model continue to be debated intensely. On the positive side, there is...
Somalia's Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Hassan Ali Sheikh, on Tuesday presided over a public consultation on Somalia's constitutional review.
Somalia's federal government Minister of Labor and Social Affairs on Wednesday, Mohamed Elmi, held a meeting with the World Food Programme's country director, Al-Qaeda Dalum, at the ministry in the capital Mogadishu. The two officials discussed various pertinent issues, including strengthening cooperation, specifically between the both sides in utilizing the Unified Social Register and boosting ministry capacity building efforts. Minister Elmi expressed gratitude to Dalum for the meeting and underscored bolstering cooperation between the two sides in enhancing the capacity of the government officials in a bid to make them offer distinguished services to the Somali people. The WFP director highlighted the agency's unwavering commitment to continue supporting Somalia in different areas, primarily in humanitarian intervention and providing food and nutrition assistance to the Somali people affected by the natural crisis. Somalia, a Horn of Africa nation, is currently grappling with severe effects of El Nino-induced floods which have devastated homes and disrupted livelihoods and decimated crops. The UN delivers life-saving food and nutrition assistance to record numbers of people in Somalia, with over 4 million people a month receiving urgent humanitarian support to prevent famine in the face of the region's worst drought in over 40 years.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Dalsan TV. My name is Abdrizak Ali. We wish you a lovely evening.